All right, guys, we have an unbelievable comeback by the Pistons, also an unreal collapse by the Magic at the same time. A Raptors-Cavs Game 7 with a fourth quarter that was just a slugfest. At overtime, that was a slugfest as well before the RJ Halliburton bounce. But let's start with the Lakers and the Rockets, and we'll talk some Rockets future stuff as well. So for this game, we'll get to the game plan adjustments the Lakers made, but number one was they just woke up. I mean, in that last game, it felt like they were just walking in molasses the entire time, right? In this one, they got out and ran way more often. They pressured the ball more. The ball was just zipping around with driving kicks way more often as well. That was step one. But then after that, the game plan stuff. Defensively, it felt like they did not double Şengün as often, or when they did, the timing of it was different or whatever. Like, there were a couple of Şengün doubles, but for the most part, they just dared him to make shots again, switch Rui onto him, have Hayes or Ayton just guard him one-on-one, don't bring an extra defender that much. Like, again, there were a couple, and even then, I thought their rotations around it were better than what it was in the last game, but they were just giving up some easy ones out of those doubles. But yeah, that was the thing. Like, get back to just daring Şengün to score on somebody one-on-one. The other side of that was if they had to have Ayton switch on to Shepherd or Hayes switch on to Amen or whatever, they were okay with that. And the Rockets just couldn't get downhill. They couldn't make enough stuff, and that's just been the feeling of this series. I mean, I know what it was the last couple of games, but the half-court offense was already a problem with KD, and then we had that double-team disaster for them in that specific game, and then around this, the half-court offense just never really had a chance. And then they just got out and ran. It felt like LeBron initiated a lot of this. I mean, we had Rui threes, Kennard threes, LeBron just get down there and draw a foul or whatever. Like, if I had to do one play to sum this up, it's like Shepherd misses a three in the corner, and LeBron was the guy closing out on him, and then like a quarter of a second later, it's LeBron and Reeves leaking out on the break, and it's a 2v1. Just a lot of different versions of that. And I'm sure the Fire Udoka takes from Rockets fans are going to be all over the place. I don't know if it's really going to happen, but after that, we just have an offseason of questions for the Rockets. I think it starts with this. Does Kevin Durant still want to be here? If the answer is yes, then it's, hey, you get Fred back, you get Steven Adams back, you see if you can swap Dorian Finney-Smith for somebody else who can fill a similar role unless you're confident his jump shot can come back next year. And you're probably just running this back, and that's that, and we'll see what happens with Udoka, and you still have to just figure out this half-court offense. The stuff cannot bog down into Kevin Durant dribbling into double teams at the top of the key. That's the hope with Fred coming back, and you hope for more development out of Şengün and Amen, right? With Amen, I'm not going to hold out any hope for him getting a three ball. Like, I think the hope would be him becoming amazing on, let's say, like, 10-foot jump shots. I mean, in the regular season this year, Amen, he was 44% on like 4 shots a game in the paint, but not right at the rim. In the playoffs, 41% on 5 attempts a game. So, I mean, he's making some of those, but there's probably just another level there. I think some of it also could be like, does he get better at back downs and in the post and all that? I mean, in the case of Şengün, I mean, it's just jump shooting from anywhere would be great. Or he becomes like really, really elite at the stuff that he already is known for. Like the hooks and the floaters and the turnarounds and just all that stuff. Also with Amen, if he could just like significantly increase his free throw attempts as well. Anyway, unless you just want to trade one of these guys and as many draft picks for like Giannis or something, hey, you know what? You can throw that out there. Why not? The Bucks will get a whole bunch of offers if it happens. No telling who has the best offer. You would be getting much older. Now, if KD does want to leave, I mean, you traded 2 real guys in the 10th pick in the draft. Sure, flawed guys with Green's consistency and Dylan Brooks taking shots he shouldn't take, but you'd probably be looking at something similar if KD wanted out. And then you would have to decide as a franchise, are we willing to just kind of coast for a little bit and hope for some potential, and then we will make a trade for another big-time player when they become available, or you just immediately pivot to Giannis, I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah, and Reed Shepherd, whose picture I'm using right now. Shepherd played 26 minutes a game in the regular season, got up to 31 in the playoffs. Was not good in the playoffs, to be clear. He was 4 for 19 in this game, but year 3, we're going to learn everything about Shepherd and what this franchise thinks of him. Do the minutes stay about the same? Do they go up? Does the usage go up? We'll see. Also, Amen is up for an extension. They did a good job negotiating the Şengün, Jalen Green, and Jabari extensions, so we'll see there. Hell of a series for the Lakers. I did not pick them to win this series. No Luka and mostly no Austin, no problem. Yeah, they're about to run into OKC, but hey, this was a good time. Luka, maybe? I don't know. All right, did you care about any of that? Did I go on way too long on that one? Let's talk about these other games for tonight. This Magic collapse had to have been some of the worst basketball ever played in the playoffs. This was unbelievable. It looked like the Pistons had such a disastrous second quarter that was going to be the story, and the Magic managed to one-up that. Credit to the Pistons. They came out in the second half ready for war and tapping into all of the defensive intensity that they have carried this season. And it was a combination of the Magic definitely having some cold shooting and the Pistons being locked in on their game planning of, like, this is how we're going to help off of, like, Jalen Suggs with Cade, and then Cade's going to get back to Suggs, or Duncan Robinson's going to hedge and recover against Paolo to not give up the switch, and then Tobias or Cade is going to get back to Paolo, and then we'll just live with the result after that. Or hell, I mean, Paul Reed was out there for some of this run, and, like, he'll get high up on Paolo to prevent him getting downhill, and then I think on one of these, like, Javante got back onto Paolo, whatever. Like, the game planning was good. Asar also just made plays. Like, he blocked Bane, and then on the inbound, he stole it from Wendell. And they executed it well, and then the Magic just spiraled, and you could tell that they were all having this deer in headlights moment of, like, oh no, we're actually going to blow this. And then it just became, like, bad Suggs threes, Paolo possessions with, like, no passes, taking mid-rangers that he's made and had, like, an insane game just the other game, but in this one they weren't going in. Or eventually, like, De Silva's missing open shots that he made earlier in the game. Or Suggs is just idling with the ball for, like, 7 seconds or whatever after the Pistons blow up the initial screen, which was like a Paolo Suggs thing, and then he throws just a very lazy pass that Cade sees coming all the way, and then it's a transition thing the other way. And the Pistons just got into some smart stuff on the other end. I mean, Cade using Asar as like a DHO guy as Suggs is sagging off of him for, you know, to get into a three. Cade getting mismatches he wanted more in the half court to get to his mid-rangers. Like, whatever it was, this was the Magic's offense just completely imploding, and it was worse than I'm talking about. I mean, they had, 19 points in the second half? Yeah, it was unbelievable. And that felt like the series. After that second half, I'm not saying the Magic are just going to totally lay down in Game 7, but usually home teams win Game 7s, and it felt like that was their chance. Oh yeah, the other thing too is during that run, they just started doing dumb fouls. Like, there was one where Cade just got a regular rebound, and Wendell just swipes at him for no reason. Like, what are you doing? Just get back on defense, man. I mean, they just totally unraveled. They had it, and now they don't have it. Crazy stuff. And now we get to the Raptors and the Cavs. We are going to a Game 7. So, like the other game, because this one was on at the same time as Magic Pistons, I didn't get to see the whole thing, but I did see most of the fourth and all the overtime. It felt like this game eventually came down to the switchability of the Raptors with CMB and RJ on, like, Jarrett Allen for some possessions, and I mean, a lot of CMB definitely, but like Jacoby switching, Shed is switching, whatever. Scotty obviously can switch all over the place, versus the Cavs just collapsing the floor whenever anybody drives. Like, Scotty, there was one specific play where Scotty was in the paint, and it was like RJ, Jacoby, Shed. I think Battle was in the game for this. They were all open from three, and the Cavs were just like, this is how we're going to make this happen. And I mean, hell, even on the RJ game winner with the insane Halliburton bounce, like, Mobley was getting ready to aggressively help, and Scotty saw that coming as he made the pass to RJ. It was a grind. I mean, Harden and Mitchell both had really tough jumpers versus the switching defense because they just couldn't get their drives off like that. And to be fair, both defenses to some degree are switching and collapsing. I understand, but it felt like it more so one or the other for me. Or like RJ is just trying to grind these possessions in the paint where Mobley and Allen are all over him, or Allen's helping off of CMB when he's in the corner. I mean, CMB, 17 points. He had another one of those floaters late there that was huge. And then Scotty, I mean, he really just has his fingerprints on everything. I think it was Game 2 when he realized just pushing off of makes and misses would be big. And it's all the different ways that he's scoring and making plays, right? Like driving at Jarrett Allen when he's giving him space. He had like 5 or 6 of his 12-foot jumpers in this one, like driving at Dean Wade or a screen just to have Mobley like backpedaling just a little bit, then you rise into that space. I mean, 14 assists on top of the 25, with the biggest one being that pass to RJ late. And so as we go into this Game 7, first off, Game 7, James Harden. Here we go. If he stinks it up on this one, just don't be shocked. I mean, he was 5 for 14 tonight. He did have some nice passes in the overtime, though, like Dean Wade missed some stuff. If they go in, they probably win, but whatever. Also, Mobley was big in this game, gotta remember that. But yeah, the pressure on Harden, whether it's going to be Shed or Jacoby or RJ or Scotty or whoever, CMB on switches, that's going to be the biggest thing in this Game 7, man. Like, if you just make him uncomfortable, we know what can happen. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but it can. It has. And then after that, I mean, on some level, this is just going to become, like, who makes enough jump shots. And, like, I've had times before where I've done the whole, like, this Game 7 is going to be awesome, and then the home team wins in a blowout. But I do think this Raptor team has just figured out how to make these games ugly enough, and Scotty has been so good that I do think we're going to get a close game. And you know what? The Raptors are going to win. There you go. I said it. I've been convinced. Let's cause chaos in Cleveland. I should probably mention the possibility of Donovan Mitchell having like 45 points. That's definitely on the table as well. Should be good, hopefully, I don't know. Anyway, that's it, guys. Have a good one.